Uzo Madu. I know that we've been away for quite some time, but we have been behind the scenes working on this new show, which is more of a vlog style, so we hope that you like it. Remember to leave comments, constructive and honest feedback, and let us know how we are doing. This show is here to inform, educate and stimulate debate on EU-Africa current affairs, so we really appreciate all your valid input. So in this introductory episode, I'll unpack the historical context of the EU-Africa relationship in approximately 2 minutes flat, so watch out for the timer. I will explain how the creation of the European Union as we know it today had a lot more to do with securing its colonial interest in Africa than one might be led to believe. The only way to comprehend the deep structures of the current EU and salvage a way forward for more meaningful EU-Africa relations is to take note of this historical context, one that might not sit so comfortably well with its founding principles of peace, democracy, solidarity, freedom and equality, but one that tells the entire story. So get set, let's go. After 1945, post-Second World War Europe became a weary shadow of its former self. Meanwhile, the US and the Soviet Union became the lead actors on the global stage, and Europe was desperate to make itself great again. To do this, it needed resources, which were abundant in many of its largely African colonies. So in 1957, the European Economic Community was born. A considerable motivating factor for its creation being the need to secure its colonial interests, particularly in the midst of a huge wave of independence movements, starting in Asia but quickly making its way to African shores. In fact, Africa was one of the greatest stakes in the EU's creation, with over 90% of the community's common market at that time being in Africa. The Treaty of Rome is the underlying legal framework for the community, and during early negotiations, the French government actually stated that it would refuse to enter the community without their colonies and departments being part of the common market. And a month before the treaty signing, Paul-Henri Spaak, Belgian Foreign Minister, explained that the importance of this community actually lay in creating a community of the same size and scale as their empires. The result? Well, more than 20 largely Francophone African colonies and departments were party to the Treaty of Rome, ultimately by way of a unilateral decision made by several European member states. And beyond Belgium and France, Germany and the Netherlands were also interested in maintaining and increasing a colonial grip on the continent through the community. Germany and the Netherlands were reluctant to make development funding available for those Francophone African colonies and territories without political participation in the then colonial administration. So there you have it, a very brief history of the EU-Africa relationship. For a more detailed overview of this show in words, read my write-up on Hidden Histories, how the EU's birth had everything to do with Africa. In the next episode, we will look at whether the EU-AU summit delivered for Africa by way of business and investment. Is this the beginning of a more balanced relationship? Find out next time on What's in It for Africa. Until then, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook for more EU-Africa updates and musings. Thanks for listening.